What we have done, I can assure you though, if you are proper Njorincheke, you are married and you have a wife and children, because we don't accept charlatans in Njorincheke. And just like what is happening in Meru, I'm very happy about it, personally.
What about?
The mufrutano between the governor and the MCAs is
like
fantastic. I love it. Okay?
Yeah.
Because these people are not friends. The last thing you want in this country is a government of friends. Because it sits down and decides to hit you together. That Njorincheke, as a system, it was not kind to poor people. Okay? Because ideally, people are not supposed to be poor.
Hello viewers, this is Lucy Mworia, the CEO and founder of Lucy Mworia Networks. This is a foundation which is hankering and focusing on issues of the elderly and the retiring in our country and around the world. And we promise you to be bringing guests. You will be discussing these issues candidly and bringing out issues, looking for solutions, ideas, and all from different kinds. We say this show is for everyone because aging is not, it is inevitable. Everyone must age. Aging starts from the day you are born. And today we have a guest, a scholar, and our guest is a professor of management leadership at the Multimedia University, a lecturer at Egerton University. He is also a political analyst. He is an author of more than 25 papers on management and leadership. He won an award 2007 UNESCO UNEP application of ECD principles in education. He is also an author of practice financial management and also a senior Njorincheke elder from Meru County. And with us, we have Professor Naituli. Welcome, Professor.
Thank you.
We are happy to have you on the show.
I'm glad to be here also.
Yes. Now, being a scholar and you being here today, we have a different mission. I recognized you as a senior elder in this country, and you hear what our topics are about. And it's like, I would like to know the relevance of elders in this country.
Relevance?
Yes.
I don't know if you want to ask the relevance, because there is stages of life. Okay, there is what we call 0 to 25.
Yes.
That is the time we call bubbling. In psychology.
Yes.
You are growing up.
Yes.
You are trying to find your foot.
Yes.
Of course, you are in school also.
Yes.
So you graduate in between 22 and 25.
Yes.
You have your degree.
Yes.
Then there is the 25 to 40 to 45.
Yes.
That is the time when you are trying to accumulate property.
Yes.
Get a family.
Yes.
Start a family.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Then the age now, between 45
yes.
and the 60
yes.
and the 65, that's the age where you have stand up, okay? You have accumulated sufficient knowledge to share. You know, in fact, here the people retire at the wrong time. That is when they actually need to start now sharing the knowledge, because the other time you have no time to share any knowledge. You are trying to survive, you are trying to make a family, you are trying to build yourself. So after 60...
So to be considered an elder in this country, or maybe in
this country, in a country,
yes.
we need to copy the Scandinavian model.
Yeah.
You need to start at 75, or the Meru model actually.
The Meru model.
We need to start the Meru model, because the Meru model, you go to Kiaman, General Assembly. That is 45 years.
Oh.
Okay? Then you go to Njori. You know, people don't understand that this Njorincheke is a term. You go to Njori, that is between 50 and 60. To go to Njorincheke, you want to be 75. Between the 70 and 75. That is when you go initiated in those stages of Njorincheke. So that is when you have accumulated enough knowledge to share with the society.
So to be an elder, you should be in a position to share.
You have to be in a position to share.
It's not just a job.
No, no, no.
But we are seeing a lot of youth, a lot of young people, a lot of young men. I've seen actually even in the Jorincheke, and they call themselves Jorincheke elders. Some of them are are not even married, or they have small kids.
What we have done, I can assure you though, if you are proper in Jorincheke, you are married and you have a wife and children, because we don't accept charlatans in Jorincheke. So for us, if you are over 25 and maybe that and you are not married, you can never go to Jorincheke. Because you are not responsible. If you are responsible, you have a wife and you have a child, okay, and you have some property, then you are responsible. Then we can accept you in that club of elders. So we can grow you up into a responsible citizen. You understand?
Yes.
So otherwise, those who you are seeing, if you are seeing some, you think they are young in the injury, those are families. You can never be accepted in that organization unless you can demonstrate that you are a responsible citizen. You cannot. But what you ask, though, is that...
the relevance of the elders in our society today,
without that, you don't have a society. No, it's like if you don't have youth, you don't have a society. Okay? If you don't have the other bracket, you also don't have a society.
You don't have the elders?
If you don't have the elders, you also don't have a society. Because this is the store of accumulated generational knowledge, which is required to guide society. Have you looked at the India structure of government of India? There is no minister who is below 60 years old. They are 75, 80 and above. And
even
that has been traditional for Indians. You understand?
Yeah.
Because the Indians have owned Indian books, the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, this religious text. And the society knows that what it means is not people who are trying to build themselves, those who have already built themselves, because those have time and the energy for society. You understand? So the India is a traditional society. Look at that society. Okay? Look how it has been moving.
It's like about, so long as you acquire wealth, it doesn't matter how you acquire, you can steal, you can be corrupt, quick, then as soon as that, then you are elder.
That's why you realize the Jorincheke values are so crucial, okay? I wish they can actually be internalized in Kenyans. Your behavior, how you acquire wealth matters to Jorincheke. It's not everybody who can be accommodated by Jorincheke. Because character, your character, overrides everything else you have done. That is why the first thing they do before you, I mean, you can go to this is more than in the first, second initiation. Before you go to the second, they even bring your wife to file a complaint if she has any against you.
Before you become?
Before you can be admitted at a higher level in Jorincheke, your wife will have a say on the kind of person you are.
You mean women aren't say in the Meru society?
Big women in the Meru society have a huge, big say.
But you just said they are not Merus because they all
Yeah, they are not Merus, but your wife knows you better than any other person in this planet. Okay? So before we move you to another level, she must come and tell us, and she will speak the truth. That I can guarantee you. And a lot of people are injected on that basis. On that basis.
On the evidence given by their wives.
Given by your wife. You are told you don't qualify. Okay, so you can't move beyond there. You can stay where you are, and we will respect you, but you can't move beyond there.
No, that we are using
so the way the country is accepting all these charlatans, one from another, we are moving in the wrong direction. Because if your character is to steal, you will not stop, my friend. I don't want to use the Gemero name.
So now we are trying.
I don't know if Meros listen to your show, but let me tell you this.
It's listened by Kenyans. But now we are using Jorincheke, you as an elder, of course, among other elders, most African elders, almost not the same, but specific now for the Merus. Now that our topic is about the elders, and we have seen that a lot of elders are suffering in the society, was there a role played by the Meru elders officially to take care of these elders? We have seen them, and you can't lie. I'm sure you have gone, you have seen it happen.
Your question should be, what did the society do to make sure that those who have reached that age are taken care of.
What are they doing even right now? Because they are there,
yes.
they have no care.
Now
yes.
they are doing nothing.
Yes, why?
And I can tell you the reason why we have even corruption in this country. Okay? We have corruption because when you are employed, you know that you retire with a very little amount of money. Okay, say right now, you use around 40,000 per week, right?
Yes.
Now, you know when you retire, you'll be getting like 3,000 or 4,000. Sindio? Now,
those who are employed.
Those who are employed.
Because that is 20% of Kenyans.
Yeah. But I'm just using that to show you that failure for society to have good policy at old age, then damage that it does to society. Because if you are confronted now with an opportunity of stealing, say, 50 million.
An opportunity.
Opportunity. Opportunity present is where you have stolen 50 million. And you know, as a rational being, there is one thing we do, rational being. Every action you take is action that maximizes the returns to you. Okay? And it minimizes punishment. You understand? So if you know you will take the 50 million, probably go to court a few times, then you use another 10 million to get out, you have a 40 million profit. You just take the 50 million. So lack of proper policy on people when they grow old is affecting even how society lives. It's increasing corruption. Now I can tell you, Meru under a very good policy, very perfect one, on how to deal with the elderly. In Meru, there is what is called jury houses. Every, what do you call, clan is clan or village.
Clan.
You know those clans? Yeah. No, clans, some of them are bigger. They have 3 or 4 houses.
Yeah.
Mworia. There is no Mworia in Meru which doesn't have a jury house. You know the purpose of those jury houses?
No.
Is even then there are people who have children and children who are irresponsible. Because our insurance, before this system came, it was your children.
Oh, you invested in them?
You invested in children, and when you grow old, they're supposed to take care of you. Even though you have your own property, you have your own cows. So still, the society understood that there are some things change as you move, and there are some who did not accumulate any property. They were free to move into Njuri house and feed.
The community house.
Community house. And feed there without impediment and without shame, because you are just a member and you are equal in the eyes of society. So because the food was being brought into those houses, so you can go there, you can feed, you can also sleep there. Okay? Because all the Njuri houses, you can sleep there. They are like clubs now. You see, Nairobi, we have all these clubs. You can, if you are a member.
United Kenya Club.
Yeah, except those who are now you have to pay. But those ones, your qualification only being a member. Okay?
Of that clan.
Of that clan. So you can see what, for example, I'm very much versed with the Scandinavian countries, especially Norway. What happens in that country, if you are employed in the government, you retire, if you are earning 60,000, it's taxed, right? But when you retire, you now get your entire amount of money until you die. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You get the whole salary, because what they want to make you comfortable. They also want you to be faithful when you are serving, because a simple transgression like this will make sure that you don't get that money at retirement.
Oh, if you are corrupt?
If you are corrupt and you are caught, now you're on your own. The society is not with you. You're on your own now. So they have arranged their society in a way that people actually want to grow old and retire, because that's when they start enjoying life. You understand? So ourselves, the way we are moving, we are glorifying charlatans, glorifying money. We tried in the Constitution, this Constitution, to put some values in Article 10, okay? Those values and Article 232, values of integrity, values of inclusiveness, patriotism. Because patriotism means love for your country, and therefore means love for your society. That is patriotism. Okay? So we're trying to put those values. We're also trying to put Article 73, which we call Chapter 6 of the Constitution, on leadership and integrity, to be sure that the leaders, because they are the example of society, that these are people of integrity. But we have trust that. So like in this cabinet, we have people, murder cases, people with active corruption cases. You understand? We have trust, chapter 6, article 73. That's what our society does when it's about to die.
Now that is on the part of the modern government.
Yeah.
You just told me what used to happen, for example, to the other Kenyans who are not from Meru, what used to happen in the Njurincheke systems where you and those houses are the clans. Now, what happened to those houses? Are you trying to tell me that Njurincheke now is finishing?
No.
Or have they became corrupt the same way now our government is being corrupt?
No.
Yeah.
Those houses are still there, by the way. Very much there. Very well organized. It's just that now, the system, you know, for example, myself now as a member, as a rule, my wife would be bringing food to Njurincheke, whether I'm there or not. But now my wife is in Nairobi. She is not in Meru to take food to the Njuri, to the houses.
So then they are not
You
there.
understand? So society has changed. What we need now is to adapt into this change. Like, for example, in Meru.
So it is not working now?
It's not working the way it used to work. It is not working.
So the poor people, the elderly are suffering out there.
Because in Meru, the structures are now there. No, not like other society. Meru, you can't say they are suffering like other society. No, they are not. We have not really reached there. Because those houses are still active. Okay? And I have seen in some of my colleagues, they are now trying to build, to modernize them, put proper beds, and so on. And then very soon, I think we are going to have rules, okay? So the members, because now you don't have family stationary in Meru, we can insist that even you are in Nairobi now, you contribute to certain amounts, which can now act as those days, because they are going to put, the plan now is actually to build them properly as modern club houses, so that they now have bands and so on. So Meru, you cannot compare the misery I've seen in other places with abandonment of old people. The Meru, we are not reached there,
but
because even your family.
Even that one of the Meru society, we are talking about being members. I'm just trying to compare it like the United Club, the
no,
Nairobi
if you are not
Club.
a member,
you are the same. If you are not a member, then we are talking about these poor elderly in the society.
Now that's where
without
government.
Food, without clothes, no. Now let's finish with that. Just tell me then Njurincheke is done, except for the members who can afford, who their wives maybe can bring the food, and you stay in those beds. Now, the very, very poor in the society. I remember a long time my grandma told me that before you could go through even to somebody's shamba, you eat bananas for free. But now, whose bananas are you going to eat? So these clubs remain for the club, for the boys' club, or the girls' club of the village.
Even in the old days, I can tell you that in Njurincheke, as a system, it was not kind to poor people. Okay? Because ideally, people are not supposed to be poor. You see, ideally in Meru, there was no poor people. Okay? You see what is used to happen, if you remember, I don't know if you remember this, but before you are circumcised, whether you are a boy or a woman, you used to go and visit your relatives. Okay?
Yeah.
You don't get a goat here, you get a heifer there, you get a cow there. By the time you finish with your relatives, you have your 40, 50 cows. So when you get circumcised and get out of the house, you're already a rich man. Or a rich woman.
So, Professor,
so what happened, because we are not doing, of course, that right now. So at the time, there was no poor people in Meru. I can tell you that. Very, very few.
Now that the world has changed in this modern,
the government now need to come in.
What is the, so there is no role for the elders then?
What do you mean role?
I mean like solving those things. Now you moved to Nairobi, another one moved to Mombasa, and then the village. And then, like you were saying, Njurincheke did not have a room for the poor. So what do we do for these
doesn't really like poor people, and I think nobody is supposed to be poor. You see, there's a problem here we are entertaining unnecessarily. We are glorifying poverty. The moment you stop glorifying poverty, nobody will be poor.
So we ignore them?
Okay? No, you don't ignore them.
What do we do?
You just encourage them to look for property. Okay? Because they won't get it. Nobody says you ignore people.
How do you encourage?
No, you just tell them that it's not very nice to be poor. Why do you want to be poor? You are not meant to be poor. No, God never created you to be poor. But you deliberately want. Poverty is a choice, by the way, people make. Okay? You know, there is a very nasty English statement. Okay? It says that you choose to be poor, because if you don't want to be poor, you won't be poor. Believe me. Okay, of course there is policies. Government can generate the policies which condemns people to poverty, like we have done in this country. But believe me, if the country does not glorify poverty, if the country behave like in Czech, saying that you are poor because of your choice, people will move out of poverty because they will not tolerate. Let me ask you, why wouldn't, you know, if I can venture into this Siasa, for example, I remember there was one of the parties was Azimio promising 6,000 shillings for single mothers.
Not for everyone.
No, they send the single mothers.
Okay. 6,000
shillings. Okay? And then UNDA promised 15 billion for a group. Would you go for money promised to a group or the one directly promised to you?
To an individual. For me,
exactly.
To the individual.
Because you are rational, right?
Yeah.
But the Kenyans went for the money promised to a group, of which you have to apply. The other one, your qualification, is being a single mother or a vulnerable member of society. Vulnerability was also one of the things. You understand? How do you make a decision against yourself? Because of your foolishness. Okay? That's why Njerinjega did not like poor people, because they're also stupid.
Poor people are also stupid?
You know, listen, I just give you an example.
Yeah.
How do you choose a group offer against an individual offer? Do you understand that?
Yes, and I said I would choose
the group offer
the young group
as opposed to an individual.
Yeah.
How do you do that? What makes that kind of decision?
Foolishness.
Foolishness. So we need to be careful here. The thing is this, yeah? Of course, I'm not saying if you are not foolish, you resist the government policy which impoverishes you, right?
Yeah.
Do we resist any policy in this country? When your parliament goes and passes the taxes which are painful to you, do you punish your MP by not voting for them next election? The answer is no. Do you understand? So we have collectively agreed to suffer, because poverty is a nice thing. Because if we declare that it's bad and it's frowned upon.
So, Professor, you think now because like the way we did, you vote foolishly or you choose this over that, are you trying to say that then we just ignore all those things we are saying, the social issues?
But ignoring is stupid. Ignoring is the foolishness I'm talking about.
So what? Not like now.
I'm saying you create, we become intelligent. We hold the leaders to account. We make them accountable to us. Once we make them accountable to us, they will make correct decisions. Okay? And just like what is happening in Meru, I'm very happy about it, personally.
What about?
The mufrutano between the governor and the MCAs is fantastic. I love it. Okay?
Yeah.
Because these people are not friends. The last thing you want in this country is a government of friends, because it sits down and decides to hit you together. But government of friends is very dangerous anywhere on the planet Earth. Look what happened with the Jubilee, who put the parliament in the pocket. The end result was what? The economy inherited from Mukebaki disappeared, wasn't demolished. Okay, because they sat down.
In the process of practicing friendship in government.
Yeah. Corruption runs warrant.
Professor?
Okay? Decisions are made which don't benefit the society. You understand? So all it requires, what is happening in Imero, it requires now these people to agree, to disagree, but then work together. You understand?
They don't have to agree.
No, they don't have to agree because they don't have to be friends. You understand? Yeah. But they need to agree. Yeah. To work them, see, because they're on the ground, they know what must be done. They know which dispensary doesn't have medicine. Okay? They know which river is dangerous and needs a branch. They supply that information to the executive.
So, Professor, because we are about to finish, from the angle of addressing the issues being faced by our elderly and the retiring community, I'm glad you talked about the government and not to being friendly. Being friendly government is wrong. Can you look at the viewers here and talk to the government of Kenya? I would like you to talk to the elders of Kenya. I would like also to talk to the youth of Kenya regarding the issue.
The government of this country, he needs, you know, we don't need a ministry for youth. Because youth is everything. We need a ministry for the old people. You know, in America, there is what they call what? The senior citizens. Okay? The senior citizens have a ministry. You understand? In Europe, the moment you are 65 years, most countries, you don't pay transport in a train or whatever. Okay? So we need to start making life comfortable. Now, where do we start? We start from the youth. When you are employed as a youth, or when you have your own business, we need to remove all the impediments to your growth. Today, if you're out of school and you need your own business, you have to deal with more than 10 licenses. Okay? If you go and open a bar or a wine shop, you have to bribe the police every Wednesday and I think Friday. You understand? So you can't move. The forces against our young people, they can't move. Meaning, they can't be on the world for old age. Okay? Because you are supposed to be on the world right now for old age. So the government needs to get responsible. Start preparing people for old age when they are 25. That means paying attention to society. Okay? So these taxes, ubiquitous taxes, need to be removed. If you cannot address this unreasonable tax regime, you can't save this country. You see, right now, what is happening is, if we train you as the best doctor, you won't go to the politics, because that's where we have put the money. You're not going to treat any Kenyan. If we train you as the best engineer, you will not be around as any road. That's why these houses are collapsing. Because the best engineers have already gone into politics, because that's where money is. We need to find imbalance in society. Okay? Without finding this imbalance, my friend, eventually, of course, we will wake up from the slumber that has created this widespread poverty and overthrow the system.
The youth?
That's what I'm saying, because the youth are the ones who have to do that.
You talk to the government.
You see, the youth, they are looking at when they retire. And if they don't see any hope there, they will deal with you now very badly. Okay? So what this government need to do is they need to adjust itself. They need to have proper policies that enables wealth accumulation at a young age. Because that wealth accumulated now is the one that will take care of you at old age. But when we go this chaotic nature we are, and when we include, how many people can even steal? You know why there is corruption in Kenya? Because 99% of Kenyans are good people. That is why the bad people are able to take advantage. But that goodness is the one which has created this poverty. They must reject that in goodness. We must reject the idea of being nice and being good people. It's
Stop
dangerous.
being friends.
Stop being friends. Stop being nice, because you don't need it. You see, you go to any graduation, the parent says, how disciplined is my child? Okay? Obedient. Dangerous statement. Because you don't need an obedient person. You need a reasonable person. You remember the terrorists, what they did when they stopped the bus with the 28 teachers. They told them to lie down. They obeyed. Because we have told these people to be obedient. What happened when the guy was shooting this one here, the other one is still lying down, he's still obeying. You understand? Obedient is one lexicon we need to ban. We need the thinkers. We need the shakers. We need the people who can fix this society, because this society needs fixing.
Not obedience.
No.
That message goes to our government, to the youth, and as we finish.
Yes, the youth, they are
the
ones.
Elderly.
It is the youth that I'm addressing.
Yes.
They need to stop
being
obeying.
Nice, being obedient.
Stop being obedient, stop being nice. Demand your rightful share.
Now.
Or now. and hold the people you have given responsibility to account now. So that, you see, the political dividends will not be given in heaven. They are given on earth. So you demand them now. Now, the elderly, they need to organize. Because if you are not organized as a group of people, again, the political class, which makes the decision, will not respond to you. Politicians respond to you only on 2 conditions. If you can hurt them, they will respond. They will listen to you. If you can help them, they will respond. If you can do neither, you will be civilly ignored.
So hurt them?
They will respond to you. And they will solve your problem. Help them, they will also respond to you because you are assisting. If you can't do neither, you will be ignored. So the elderly in society, they better start organizing politically as a group. Okay, just as much as the youth need to organize politically as a group. Okay, you know why they retracted the idea of university fees quickly? Because I think they have retracted even though they may bring it back. Because that is a potent, organized group, dangerous group. If they can stop the madness of obeying and being nice. You don't need to obey, you don't need to be nice, you need to be reasonable. And you need to love yourself first before anything else, because you must come first.
Wow. So that is Professor Gitile Naituli, the male elder. He has said it all. Stop being nice, stop being obedient, do what you need to do. Grab it now. And youth, I hope the message comes to you. Our government, the message is to you. Thank you very much, Professor. Nice having you today.
Asante sana.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.